What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna have a Q&A session. I put a Q&A box over on my Instagram. If you're not already following me over there, link is down below to go hang out with me over on Instagram. But I need to go take a walk, but I also need to film this video. So we're gonna do both at the same time and kind of go through the Q&A today together. So we're gonna have some fun. So just 3 questions that I chose as I was going through my Instagram. Fun questions. We're gonna also see how this works with the holding the gimbal and seeing kind of as I turn around and whatnot. It's always fun. I kind of hate gimbals, but you know, it is what it is. So first question that we have, only doing 3 questions today. First question that I got was, how do I stay fit while traveling late at night, going to bars for all the country music, you know, all that stuff, spending an inordinate amount of time in the car, having to stop at gas stations and all that crazy stuff. So it's honestly, it's pretty simple. The biggest thing that we do is we prepare. We prepare. If you don't prepare, you basically set yourself up to, you prepare to succeed or prepare to fail, one of the two. And if you don't do either one, life will choose for you. So anyway, I meal prep all my food. I know my shows months in advance. That's one beauty of all this. I know my shows and my schedule kind of months in advance. So what I do is I prep my food for that day. I usually will make a whole separate batch just for the show day. So right now I'm on a bulk. I haven't really toured when I'm on like an intense type of cut. I think that would be really hard, but we might be doing that next year towards show. But there's 2 main things to remember when you're traveling and you're in a weird spot, if you will. For me, the weird spot is being in bars, late night, that type of stuff. But for you, it might be something completely different depending on your work, you know? So I'm gonna be changing hands here and there. But for me, the one thing is, like I said, preparing, bringing the food, getting everything ready to go, eating and pacing myself between sets and all that good stuff. But also, I have to give myself a little bit of grace on those days as well, because sometimes the shows, they'll go till like 2 in the morning, and then we gotta, usually 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning sometimes, then we gotta pack up, then we gotta travel back to the hotel, and sometimes the only thing available is fast food, you know, the McDonald's, the Jack in the Boxes, those types of things. So really the biggest thing is making smart choices. If you have to stop at Jack in the Box, you know, there's like the pita wrap, there's the teriyaki bowl, there's a couple things like that. If you gotta stop at Jack in the Box, I don't even know if Jack in the Box has salads and stuff or McDonald's has salads and stuff anymore or whatever, but basically make the best choices that you can. I know that if I'm going to a show and I'm going to be up that late at night, there's a chance something could happen. There's a chance I could just be starving depending on how much I ran around on stage or if the show's outside or inside. So I just do my best to prepare, but also give myself the leeway that I need to do my best at the show. Because at the end of the day, the most important thing is that show, you know. And if I have to eat a burger or a chicken tender or something like that, it just kind of is what it is, you know. The most important thing is to be my best for that show. But that all comes from preparing. So many answers, guys, to all this stuff are so simple. They're just so simple. The hard part is actually doing them. But the actual answers to get it done is so simple. So when you're traveling, when you're doing that type of stuff, when you're in a situation where you know you're going to be away from food for a little bit, or you know you're going to be having to eat different foods for a little bit, prepare. Can't be any clearer, can't be any simpler in theory to just prepare. So going out there and actually doing it and implementing it and not stopping at fast food restaurants and getting burgers and stuff, that's the hard part. So remember that, be prepared. Question number 2 is more of a personal one. It was, how long have you been with your wife? We've been together for, 2023? We've been together for 13 years. Yeah, we've been together for a while. We got married 6 years into this thing. So we were dating for 4 years, engaged for 2 years, and then got married in 2016. And obviously have been married ever since. So yeah, she was, if you will, my high school sweetheart, aka the girl next door type of situation, if you will. I was head over heels in love with her before she even knew, that I even existed, that I even walked this earth. And through a pretty crazy scenario that I don't really feel like discussing on YouTube, but during a pretty crazy turn of events, we kind of fell into each other's lives, and we're just going through the same thing at the same time, and just realized and kind of leaned on each other for some help, and then realized we'd be leaning on each other for the rest of our lives. So that's kind of how that works out. And it gives me hope. That's why I always tell people who are kind of friend zoned, or people who are like struggling in the dating scenario or whatnot. It's like, you know what, I literally lived that movie life in terms of finding that girl that didn't even know who you were and getting her to fall in love with you and all that kind of stuff. So if I can do it, and I'm just random Joe Blow, if you will, I'm not suave, I'm not cool, I'm not anything, I'm barely good enough to make these videos, if you know what I mean. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Just be a good person. I'm talking to the guys out there. Be a good person, don't be a douchebag, and just be caring. Just care. Just act like you care. Don't try to be cool. Just act like you care. So yeah, pretty awesome story. Maybe one day I'll get deeper into it. Once we get to know each other a little better, maybe I'll get into it a little bit deeper about what happened and how we got there. It's been 13 years removed, so can't be that horrible to talk about at this point, but don't want to take a chance just yet. And the last question that I want to talk about today is, it was an interesting one. I'm hoping that I'm answering it correctly. But it's, do you get your kid involved with like your fitness activities? That was the question. Do you bring them along with your fitness activities and things like that? Well, first off, my daughter's 2, so she doesn't come in and around like the gym. The gym that my wife and I go to, they don't have a kid zone, and you can bring your kid in there on a stroller and everything, and have them sitting right next to you, sleeping, eating, doing whatever while you're training. It kind of, that's the environment that our gym is. Hold on, there's a car that thinks it's way too big. But they have American flags, so they are pretty cool. America, yeah. Happy 4th of July, y'all. Happy 4th of July weekend, everybody. So anyway, what I was saying is, we could bring her to the gym. We generally don't bring her to the gym, just because she doesn't quite understand the difference between playing things that can be played on and things that are actually dangerous. Yet she's just learning to climb up on stuff and be very she's learning a lot about the world right now. Let's just put it that way. She's learning a lot about the world, and we just don't want to take any risks with her at the gym, so we don't bring her along to any of those gym activities. We have a big home gym in our garage. Right now in Texas, we're going through this incredible heat wave, so it's been like the lows of like 96. Sometimes at nighttime it'll get to like high 80s, but so just for heat reasons and whatnot, we don't bring her in there either. But she is involved in a lot of her own fitness things. She does gymnastics, she does dance, she does soccer, she does swimming. Gymnastics and swimming we do with her, so technically we're involved in her fitness versus her being involved in our fitness, but we keep her active. And we keep her engaged. She doesn't horse ride obviously or anything, but she's very involved in all the equestrian stuff that we do, all the little ranching things that we do, if you will. She'll come help feed the cows, she'll come help feed the horses, she'll come help do all the stuff out there. So not technically fitness, but it's another activity that she will be involved that does have some sort of athletic component to it one day. But we completely intend to, as she gets older, do little workouts with her, get her involved in our fitness routines to a certain extent in ways that make sense, teach her how to not lift weights but be safe around the gym environment, because eventually she will be going to the gym with us, and she will be around the gym culture, and not commercial gym culture, like real gym culture, you know, where there's everybody in there is working. It's not just this glorified iron Starbucks, if you will, you know. So there will be a lot of that. So she will get involved with things soon, but you know, she has her own activities, her own everything, and we're just having a great time. We're having a great time. So anybody wanting to get their kids into fitness, you know, you always want to do it the smart way. You always want to not do so much that it burns them out. You want to kind of make it organic, like it's just part of your life. You know, you want to make it fun. The kids at this age, they just want to do things that are fun. They want to be together. They want to have family time. So anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me for another video. I had a great time kind of going through this little Q&A session with y'all. You know, the goal is for me to be able to give you guys some knowledge, but also let you learn a little bit about me, and I would love to learn more about you as well. So drop down below in the comments, based on what we talked about, any comments, questions you have, any further explanations, any things that maybe you think that could be done even better than like what I said, that could further, you know, that information or that knowledge so somebody else can learn, or maybe even I can learn as well. You know, if you are looking for a program to get you absolutely shredded or bulk up or whatever your goals are at the end of the day, I've got the perfect program for you. I run a company called The Academy that is online personal training. I also do some in-person sessions depending on where you're located. But yeah, there's different plans. And then we got some great folks going through the program right now, and they're seeing some amazing results. So I'll leave a link to that below if you're interested in just checking that out. I would love to take you on if it's something you are interested in doing and being a part of. But yeah, until next time, again, thank you so much for joining me for another video. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next week.